Behind the glitz and glamour of the music industry lies a dark tale of betrayal, violence, and the fight for justice. Enter the world of Megan Thee Stallion, a Grammy-winning rapper whose journey took an unexpected turn when she found herself at the center of a high-profile court trial. Megan Thee Stallion, a rapper who won a Grammy, recently spoke in court during the trial of rapper Tory Lanez. She said that she had received death threats on social media and still had nerve damage from when he shot her in the face after they argued 2 years ago. Mr. Lanez, whose real name is Daystar Peterson, was found guilty by the jury on 3 felony counts, which included assault with a semi-automatic handgun. He might go to jail for more than 20 years and could be sent back to his home country. Before the court case, both rappers talked about it on social media and in their music. In 2020, Mr. Lanez disagreed with Megan Thee Stallion's story on his album, which was released over 2 months after the incident. Megan defended herself on Instagram, in interviews, and with her strong song. Last year, after a party in Los Angeles, Tory Lanez got angry at Megan Thee Stallion for criticizing his rapping skills. He shot at her face as she was walking away from their car. The defense is saying that Mr. Lanez may not have fired these shots, and that it could have been another woman who was upset that the 2 rappers had been hanging out. Megan Thee Stallion recently testified that she had initially lied to the police about an encounter because she was scared of how they would react due to the murder of George Floyd. She had previously shared this information with reporters and on social media. She said she didn't want to talk to the officers because she didn't want to be a snitch. Megan Thee Stallion said that the incident has made her feel sad and has affected her job. She said that she likes to keep to herself, but had to speak up to protect her reputation because people were saying mean things about her on social media. She said that Tory told many lies about her and turned everything into a scandal, so now people don't want to associate with her. I feel unwell, like a bird that is sick. Mr. Lanez didn't speak in court during the trial. The lawyer said that Megan Thee Stallion lied to get attention during the closing arguments to the jurors. He said that the prosecution did not prove the case. They don't have enough evidence to prove their case. The shooting happened when Megan Thee Stallion was becoming more famous. A few months ago, she worked with Beyonce on a new version of a song, and it became her first song to reach #1 on the Billboard chart. In that year, one of the songs became a huge hit and made her even more famous. The song was a collaboration with Cardi B. What happened next after the shooting? At first, it was unclear what happened that night. Megan Thee Stallion shared on Instagram that she had been shot and needed surgery, but didn't say much else. There was a lot of talk and guessing, but she eventually said that Mr. Lanez was the one who shot her. He was arrested and charged with hiding a gun in the car. Mr. Lanez wrote rap lyrics about the situation that implied a different version of events, saying, "We both know what happened that night and what I did, but it's not what they're saying." Last year in October, Mr. Lanez was charged with assault by the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office. What did Megan Thee Stallion say? Megan Thee Stallion talked to Gayle King on CBS this year. She said that she and a friend were in a car with Mr. Lanez after a party at Kylie Jenner's house. They got into an argument while in the car. She got out of the car, and then Mr. Lanez yelled at her to dance and used a rude word before shooting her. He said sorry and offered $1 million to her and her friend Kelsey Harris to not tell anyone about what happened. She told the police that she hurt her foot by stepping on glass. In one of her songs, she explained why she didn't tell the police everything at first. She rapped, "If it weren't for me, you would have been charged the same week." Megan Thee Stallion has been talking openly about the shooting incident. She wrote an essay in the New York Times about how black women are often disrespected and disregarded in many areas of life, and how people were skeptical and judgmental about her allegations. During the final arguments, Alexander Bott, who is a deputy district attorney, described a woman who was hurt by gun violence and has received criticism from fans of hip-hop music. Mr. Bott said that Mr. Lanez should be responsible for shooting the victim just because he was upset. What did Tory Lanez say? Mr. Lanez, who is 30 years old, did not speak in court and has not talked to the media about what happened that night. In his 2020 album, Tory Lanez rapped the line, "If you got shot from behind, how can you identify me?" which referred to the shooting incident. During the final statements, the lawyer named George M.G. Dessian explained that the argument in the car was between Ms. Harris and Megan Thee Stallion. It happened because Mr. Lanez revealed that he had been interacting with both women. Mr. M.G. Dessian said that this case was about jealousy. What proof is the main focus of the case? The prosecutors are focusing on a text message that Ms. Harris sent to Mr. Lanez's bodyguard that said help, and Tory shot Meg on the night of the incident. They showed a text message where Mr. Lanez said sorry to Megan Thee Stallion after the shooting. Mr. Mgdessian explained that Mr. Lanez's apologetic call from jail, where he said "I'm deeply sorry," was not related to the shooting incident, but rather to the relationships that were made public. Mr. Mgdessian said there wasn't enough proof to show that Mr. Lanez was guilty. The experts said they didn't find Mr. Lanez's DNA on the gun's magazine. The judge agreed to postpone the sentencing until August 7th because the lawyer needed more time to prepare their recommendations. In the short court hearing, Lanez wore an orange jail outfit and black cap. He mostly kept his head down and didn't look at anyone. Why did the case cause so much disagreement? Outside the court, there were two groups of people. One group supported Lanez and the other group supported Megan. They were standing across from each other. The supporters of Megan were holding signs that said, "We stand with Megan." When Megan got to the building, someone yelled at her and asked why she was lying about a boy. People have accused the Grammy-winning rapper of lying because her story changed at the beginning of the case. At first, she told the police that she was injured by stepping on shattered glass. She said on Instagram that Tory had shot her, but it was not right away. Later, she told an interviewer that she had to undergo surgery to remove bullets from her fate. Fortunately, the bullets did not hit her bones or tendons. Megan admitted to lying to the officers because she was afraid of getting into more trouble. They argued a lot through their music about the case. Lanez said Megan was trying to blame him in one of his songs, but Megan said she was telling the truth in one of her songs. Choosing one option over another, the argument spread to the other hip-hop artists, including 50 Cent and Drake. Megan often protected herself on Twitter and claimed that people had portrayed her as hostile and someone who tells on others. She said that she might have been targeted because of misogynoir, which means hatred towards black women. Megan expressed disapproval of Drake's song, which features 21 Savage and seems to refer to a shooting case. JoJo and Kehlani supported her. Megan received support from a group of well-known black women, including Tarana Burke, who founded the hashtag #MeToo movement. They wrote an open letter in support of her. Fetty, a rapper, said sorry for posting memes that made people question Megan's story. He changed his decision after listening to the trial's evidence. This is a win for all women. Lanez has said he didn't do it and is trying to appeal the sentence. His lawyers might try other ways to help him too. After being found guilty, Megan has been talking about how false stories and conspiracy theories affected her and is now trying to take control of the story about the shooting. She said in Elle magazine that the guilty verdict was a win for all women who have been blamed, dismissed, or shamed for a violent crime committed against them. She said that we can't control what others think, especially when they find lies more interesting than the truth. We need to make it safe for women to report violent behavior without being afraid of what might happen to them. That's all for the video today. Don't forget to give this one a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.